So today we will discuss the last topic in Unit 9, minimum spanning tree. This is the outline of this topic. The first one, what is a minimum spanning tree? Second one, constructing minimum spanning tree. Then what is a minimum cost spanning tree? Application of minimum cost spanning tree. Then we will see two example of the algorithms to derive minimum cost spanning tree from the corresponding graph. The first algorithm, Prim's algorithm, and second one, Kruskal's algorithm. As closing, we will see a review question and try to answer that question. So the first one, what is a spanning tree? Spanning tree is a tree that can be derived from a graph that is simple, connected, and undirected. Okay, and also there is additional thing that the edge should not be weighted. Okay, that will be the applicable domain of the spanning tree. So the spanning tree is defined for this kind of graph to be the free tree, which is the tree without a roof, with the number of the vertices minus 1 edges that connect all the vertices of the graph. So the spanning tree of the corresponding graph is actually the tree that connect all the vertices in the graph. Okay, and the number of the edges for that tree should be the number of the vertices in the original graph minus 1. Okay, thus a spanning tree for G is a graph T with the vertices, set of the vertices V absent and set of the edges to be E absent with the following properties. The set V absent should be equal to the set V, the original vertex in G, and T is connected and T is acyclic, means that there cannot be cycle in T, because you can see that based on the definition a tree cannot contain any cycle. So the spanning tree for G must be also acyclic. Then there is additional information. A spanning tree is called a tree because every acyclic undirected graph can be viewed as a general unordered tree. Because the edges are undirected, any vertex may be chosen to serve as the root of the tree. So this is actually the definition of the free tree. Okay, the free tree is the tree that we can just take one vertex out of all the vertex and define that as the root. Okay, but this one is not determined. You can choose any vertex to become the root. Okay. The next one, constructing a spanning tree. Look at this. For example, now we have the graph G like this. You can see that actually we can get the corresponding spanning tree by using the traversal algorithm that we learned before. Okay, for example, we applying the breadth-first traversal, then the corresponding spanning tree of this G will be like this. Okay, if we apply the depth-first traversal to this original G, then we will get this as the spanning tree for that result. Okay, so as you can see that the spanning tree of the graph is not unique. Okay, you can get many like possibility of that spanning trees. Okay, depending on the algorithm that you apply to derive the spanning tree for the graph. Then everyone, you can see that before we discussed how to derive the spanning tree for the graph that is simple, undirected, and the edges do not have any weights. Okay, but the applicability of the spanning tree for that case will be limited, because you can see that there are so many problem domains that need us to define the weight of the edges. Okay, for example, the weight of the edges can be used to describe the cost for the traveling. It can be the time, it can be the price, everything, something like that. So it means that the information of the weight of the edges is really important. Okay, really important. That's why in application, actually usually we want to derive minimum cost spanning tree from the corresponding graph. Okay, because in reality the graph usually has the weight. Okay, so this is some definition for edge vector connected under the graph G. The total cost of G is the sum of the weight on all of its edges. So now, for example, if you have this graph, okay, then the total cost will be the summation of this weight 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 and plus 8, something like that. Okay, then now the minimum cost spanning tree problem is to derive the spanning tree that has the minimum total cost. Okay, that will be the minimum cost spanning tree. Now look at this. By applying the spanning tree algorithm, maybe you do the traversal either by using BFS or DFS traversal. We can derive 16 spanning tree for this graph. The first one, second one, third one, until the last one. Okay, here only like a 5 example of data spanning trees. But out of 16 spanning tree, there are only 2 spanning tree that has minimum cost, which is this and this one. Okay, if you add all the weight in the edge, then you will get 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6 to be 6. Okay, so the minimum cost for the spanning tree for this graph is 6, and the structure of that spanning tree, the minimum cost spanning tree, will be either this or this one. Okay, that will be the minimum cost spanning tree problem. There are many applications for this minimum cost spanning tree. For example, we can use this problem domain to build cable network that join n location with minimum cost. So the n location will be the vertices of that graph. Okay, then building a road network that join n cities with minimum cost, obtaining an independent set of circuits equation for an electrical network, and the last one in pattern recognition minimal spanning tree can be used to find noisy pixels. This is a little bit advanced application actually, so we will not go to discuss this. To derive the minimum cost spanning tree for the simple undirected but the edge has the weight, we can either apply the Prim's algorithm and Kruskal algorithms. As the first algorithm, we will discuss the Prim's algorithm. Okay, so the Prim algorithm finds a minimum cost spanning tree by selecting edges from the graph one by one as follows. The first one, it will define T to be the set of the vertices, okay, which is actually a tree itself that consisting the starting vertex X. So the initial condition of this tree will be containing one vertex. Okay, then after that we will choose the shortest edge that emanating from X. The shortest edge means that the edge that has the minimum weight that connects T to the rest of the graph. Okay, then we move to the added vertex, then repeat the process. Okay, so this is the algorithm. Now consider that this is the original graph. Then after that we define T to be a set of vertices or a tree that consisting of only the starting vertex X. Okay, then after that we do the loop while T has fewer than the number of vertices in the original graph. Then we find a smallest edge that connecting T to the rest of the graph. So G minus T means that the rest of the graph that not including T. Then we add that edge into the T. We repeat this step again until the T containing all the vertices in the graph. Okay, this algorithm will be simple if we look at the example. Okay, now just look at this example. This is the input graph, the original graph. So the task is how to derive the minimum cost spanning tree for this graph. You can see that there are some detail on how to derive the minimum cost spanning tree by using the table like this. Okay, something like this. Then this is will be the output of the algorithm. Okay, the output of the Prim's algorithm, which is the minimum cost spanning tree for this original graph. This table actually make the Prim's algorithm that is simple to become complicated. You can see that the output of the Prim's algorithm is the minimum cost spanning tree, which is this one. So actually, you do not really need to use this table in order to derive the minimum cost spanning tree. I will show to you how to derive the corresponding minimum cost spanning tree for this original graph, for this input graph. Okay, the step is simple actually. So now what you need to do is only first you need to draw the vertices. Okay, vertices A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, now after that, as we can see that we need to define the starting vertex. Okay, this question defining that the starting vertex to be A. Okay, so A will be the starting vertex. Okay, there are three edges that emanating from A. The first one, second one, and third one. We need to choose the edge with the minimum weight. So we will choose the edge that connecting A to D. Okay, this one. Okay, after that, the set T will containing A and D. Okay, and the rest of the graph will contains B, C, E, and F. So we need to find the set of the edges that emanating from A and D that connect it into the rest of the graph. So that will be this edges. Okay, these edges, this one. So to make it the step is simple, you only need to do the cutting. Okay, cutting where the first part will be the vertices in T, and the second part will be the vertices that not in B or the rest of the graph. Okay, so after we build this edge, then the cutting will be this. Okay, so if we do this cutting, then the edge that being cut will be this 13 as the way. After that 8, 5, 4, and 5. Out of these edges, the minimum weight will be this edge, right, from D to E. Okay, so that will be the next edge that we need to select. Okay, from D to E. Okay, this one. Now after this, the next cutting will be to separate ADE from the rest of the graph. That cutting will become like this. Okay, will become like this. Okay, so what we have will be these edges 13, 8, 5, 3, 2, and 5. So the minimum one will be 2. That's why we need to draw that edge. Okay, after we do that, the next cutting will be the one that's separating A, D, E, F to B and C. Okay, so that will be this cut. Okay, everyone, this cut. So now we see that that cut will separate the T with the rest of the graph, and we will see that the edge will be 13, 8, 5, and 3. So 3 will be the minimum weight. So we need to draw that edge into this graph. Okay. After that, we only need to cut the B from the T. Okay, the set T. So this one, there will be only two edges that we need to cut, 13 and 15. So we choose the 13, something like this. So this is the result of that applying the Prim's algorithm into this input graph. As you can see that, so we compare the what we did with the answer. So you can see that the answer and what we did is the same, right? So this is the correct answer. As you can see that deriving the corresponding minimum cost spanning tree in by using the Prim's algorithm is much more simple if you just like applying this algorithm directly. Okay, you apply this algorithm directly without using this table. Okay, so the step that we did previously is actually just applying this algorithm without any change. Okay, so means that actually you do not need this table at all to derive the minimum cost spanning tree by using the Prim's algorithm. Now everyone, in the last class we discussed the Dijkstra algorithm, right? Dijkstra algorithm can be used to derive the shortest path from vertex to the rest of the vertices in the graph. Okay, so at that time we also use the table to derive the shortest path from a certain vertex to the rest of the vertices in the graph. Okay, maybe some of you will think that I can also use the Prim's algorithm to derive the shortest path from the starting vertex to the rest of the vertices in the graph. Okay, or else you can apply the Prim's algorithm to do what the Dijkstra's algorithm does. Actually, between the Dijkstra's algorithm and the Prim's algorithm, the best thing is to think that they do not have any connection. Okay, now I will show to you why we cannot really combine the problem domain of the Dijkstra with the Prim's algorithm. Look at this, everyone. You know that if you apply the Dijkstra algorithm to find the shortest path from the starting vertex A to the rest of the vertices in the graph, then from A to F, for example, the shortest path will not be like this. Okay, because if you think that this is the shortest path, the total cost from A to F will be 1 plus 4 plus 2. That will be 7, right? If you really do the traversal, then you will see that actually from A to F, the shortest path will be from A, D, and F because the cost is 6, not 7. Okay, not 7. Similarly, you can see that from A to C, okay, from A to C, if you use the result of the Prim's algorithm, then from A to C that will be 1 plus 4 plus 3. Okay, that will be 8. Okay, it will be 8. But look at this, everyone. You can reach C by using the path of A, D, and C, and the cost will be only 6. Now here it's 8. Okay, so the result of the Prim's algorithm to find the minimum cost spanning tree has nothing to do with the task of finding the shortest path that we solve by using Dijkstra algorithm. Okay, so please do not get confused. Do not combine them together. Okay, so the shortest path from a vertex to the rest of the vertices in the graph that being solved by Dijkstra algorithm has nothing to do with the minimum cost spanning tree that being solved by using the Prim's algorithm. Okay, something like that. Okay, now the second algorithm, Kruskal's algorithm can also be used to find the corresponding minimum cost spanning tree for the graph. Okay, so this is the algorithm. So the Kruskal algorithm will find the minimum cost spanning tree of a graph by adding edges one by one. Okay, so the algorithm will just enqueue the edges of G in a queue in increasing order of the cost. Okay, then after that there is a set T that initially will be empty. Then while the queue is not empty, we just dequeue an edge from the queue. Okay, then after that, if the E doesn't create a cycle in T, then we just add E to T. Then we will do this until the queue is empty. Then we return the T, which is the output of this algorithm, the minimum cost spanning tree of the graph. Okay, now just look at this example. Uh, so if you look at this input graph, the first thing that you need to do in order to apply the Kruskal algorithm is to try to order the edge based on the way, okay, in the increasing order or ascendingly. So now what we have, there are like this way, this edge and this edge that has the less weight, right? Then after that, maybe the next one is this edge from F to G. Then maybe after that this one, maybe after that one. Okay, so in short, what you need to do, just order the edge based on the way ascendingly. This is will be the result. Okay, this is will be the result. Okay, then after that, by using this Q, by using this Q, we can draw the corresponding minimum cost spanning tree. I will show to you how to make that minimum cost spanning tree by using this result. Okay. Okay, now look at this. Now we need as the first step, we need to draw the vertices of this graph. That will be A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay. Now, in order to derive the minimum cost spanning tree by using the Kruskal algorithm, what you need to do, you need to do the DQ from the NQ, from the Q. Okay, so the first one that we do the DQ is the edge AD. Okay, so this edge. Wait a minute. Okay, AD. Okay, then the next one, that will be E to G, EG. Okay, then after that AB. After that FG. After that AE. Then DF. Okay, now look at this. When we draw DF, we draw this edge. You can see that there will be a cycle that being generated if we connect D to F. Okay, as you can see that if the edge create the cycle, we cannot add E to the T. That's why actually we cannot really add DF into this graph. Okay, so we need to undo this step. Okay, then after that we have the next edge to be E to F. E to F similar. If we draw E to F, then we will have a cycle, so we cannot draw this edge. Okay, then the next one after that will be DE here. Also a cycle will be created, so we cannot draw this edge. Then B to E, you can see that also there is a cycle. Okay, then A to C, this one. We draw A to C, then you can see that we cannot find any cycle, so means that we need to add this edge into the tree. Okay, then after that the next one CD. If we draw CD, then we will see a cycle, so we need to undo this step. Then the last one is CF. Okay, CF, this one. Then you can see that there is a cycle also being generated if we connect C to F, so we need to undo this step. So this is the resulting minimum cost spanning tree of this graph. If we apply the Kruskal algorithm. Okay, look at this. This is the answer. You can see that we also derive similar answer. Okay, the same answer. So look at this. This is really simple, right? So everyone, we have discussed about the Kruskal's and the Prim's algorithm to derive the minimum cost spanning trees for the corresponding graph. Okay. A summary. Look at this. For the Prim algorithm, you need to determine the starting vertex. Okay, you need to determine the starting vertex. Then after that, you will need to find the edges that connect from that vertex to the remaining of the graph. Then after that, find the minimum one. Okay, then after that, you insert that next vertex into the starting vertex, and repeat the step by finding the edges that connect the T with the rest of the graph. Okay, and find again the minimum way. Okay, then you can see that for the prims you need to determine the starting vertex. You need to determine the starting vertex. If you choose the starting vertex, then maybe you will get a different answer. In the Kruskal algorithm, you do not need to determine the starting vertex. Okay, you only need to order the edges according to the cost increasingly. So means that in the Kruskal algorithm, you will be able to find the unique minimum cost spanning tree for the corresponding graph, as long as the weight also not also unique. Okay, but if the weight is not unique, like this example 2, 2, 3, and 3, then maybe you will not also find the unique answer. But in the Kruskals, you do not need to determine the starting vertex. And if the weight are all different, then you will get the same answer for the graph. Okay, something like that. So now there is the comparison between the Prim's and Kruskal algorithm for the same graph. So as you can see that the Kruskals and the Prim's algorithm will in general create non-unique and different minimum cost spanning tree for the same graph. Okay, but sometimes they can also generate the same minimum cost spanning tree. Now for example, now this is the input graph. If we apply the Kruskal algorithm, we will get this answer. And if we apply the Prim's algorithm by using A, B, or D as the starting vertex, we will get this result. But if we start from the C, then the minimum cost spanning tree of the Prim's algorithm will be this graph. Okay, this graph. So they usually will Prim's and Kruskal algorithm will be resulting different minimum cost spanning tree, but all the answer will come with the spanning tree with minimum cost. As the minimum cost usually, not usually, always the same for the graph, for the corresponding graph, then you can expect that the Kruskals and the Prim's algorithm will generate the minimum cost spanning tree that has exactly the same total cost. Let's look at this. The total cost of this spanning tree is 6. The total cost of the spanning tree of this also 6. Okay, so they will generate the spanning tree with the same cost, because that will be the minimum one. Okay, you cannot have a different minimum cost for the spanning tree that being generated by using Kruskal and the Prim's algorithm. The minimum cost must be the same. Okay, but they can be non-unique. So this is the review question. Let's just try to answer this question for the graph GB, because in this review question it said that we need to apply some DFS and BFS to derive the spanning tree. Okay, we will just try to answer the GB, because in the GB we asked to derive the minimum cost spanning tree by using the Prim's and Kruskal algorithm. Okay, now we start by using the Prim's algorithm. Okay, so now we just draw the graph again. Only the vertices B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay, H. So in the Prim's algorithm, you need to determine the starting vertex. you cannot continue with the Prim's algorithm without the starting vertex. In this question, it asks us to start with vertex A. Okay, so we start with this one. Now the cutting will become like this. So the minimum cost edge will be A to B. Okay, A to B. Wait a minute. A to B. Okay. Then after that, the cutting between AB and the rest of the graph will be like this. 10 and 8. So we choose 8. Okay. B to E. Now we have B, A, B, and E in the T. The cutting of A, B, E to the rest of the graph will be 15, 3, 5, and 2. So we going to pick the 2, which is from E to C. Okay. The next cutting will be like this. 15, 3, then after that 5 and 2. Okay, so we choose a 2. Then the next cutting will be 15, 3, 4, and 5. So we choose 3. Okay, we choose 3. Okay, now the next cutting will be 15 and 5. So we choose 5. The next cutting is only one edge, which is from D to E. Okay, so this is the resulting minimum cost spanning tree by applying the Prim's algorithm into this graph. Okay, so I will just write maybe here Prim algorithm by using P. Okay, means that this is the result of the Prim algorithm. Now we will do the same thing by using the Kruskal algorithm. Okay, using the Kruskal algorithm. In the Kruskal algorithm, what we need to do is to NQ the edge based on the cost ascendingly in increasing order. Okay, so we need to NQ that. Then after that we do the DQ, means that we will take the edge with the minimum cost one by one. Okay, so again, as the first step, just draw the vertex first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay, so as you can see that there are many edges. The one with the minimum cost is from A to B. So we take this as the first edge. We draw it into our graph. Okay, then after that, the next one with minimum cost will be 2 and 2. Okay, this and this. Just example, we take this edge first from E to C. Okay, E to C. The next one from C to F. Okay, from C to F. Okay, then after that, the next minimum one will be this edge from E to G. E to G, then the next one will be from G to F. From G to F, if you draw, then you can see that there will be a cycle. Okay, so you cannot draw G to F into our result, so we need to undo this. After that, the next one that is minimum will be from F to H. Okay, F to H, there is no cycle, so we can add this H. Then after that, the next minimum one will be B to E. Okay, B to E, there is no cycle, so we can add this H. Then after that, the next minimum one will be from A to E. You draw from A to E, then we can see that there is a cycle, so we cannot do this, we need to undo. Okay, and the last one will be the H from the D to E. Okay, so this is the result of applying the Kruskal algorithm to get the minimum cost spanning tree for this graph. So this is Kruskal. Okay, Kruskal. Now we compare between the Prim's and the Kruskal algorithm. As you can see that in this case, the Prim's algorithm and the Kruskal algorithm actually producing the same answer, okay? Unique answer. Okay. So that is for today, everyone. That's for today. So as you can see that applying the Prim's and Kruskal algorithm to derive minimum cost spanning tree for the corresponding graph is not too much difficult, okay? Not too much difficult. The thing that you need to take into consideration, do not try to mix the concept of the shortest path from the Dijkstra algorithm into the minimum cost spanning tree that you can obtain by using Prim's algorithm, okay? So the shortest path and the minimum spanning tree has nothing to do to each other, okay? In the shortest path, you try to find the shortest path from a vertex to the rest of the vertices in the graph, okay? The corresponding vertex is clearly defined, but in the minimum cost spanning tree, what you need to derive is the spanning tree with minimum cost, okay? So if you try to derive the shortest path by applying the minimum cost spanning tree algorithm, you will get the incorrect answer, okay? As we have discussed, from A to F, the minimum, the shortest path will be through A, D, and F. But if you derive the minimum cost spanning tree, from A to F, you need to travel from A to D, E, then after that F. Then the way is actually the total cost is not the minimum, okay? Okay, maybe that's it for today, everyone. Please try to answer our CP quiz that I have uploaded in this assignment. Okay, thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.